relationship. Whoa, screwed that one up. Current relationship status. Are you single, situationship, relationship? And what is your longest relationship? Go ahead.
I'm currently single. I just got out of a relationship like last week. And my longest relationship was 1.5 years.
Okay, so you just got out of a relationship last week.
Yeah.
How long were you guys dating?
Like a month. It was like a rebound.
From, you said 1.5 years was your longest relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a rebound to that one?
No, so the 1.5 years was like it ended like a year ago. But then my rebound that just ended, it was like a rebound for like a situationship in like December. So
it's a rebound of a situationship, which occurred after the long one. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good times. Good times. What about you?
So I'm very single. I've actually never been in a relationship, but I've had my fair share of situationships.
Very single and fair share of relationships. Situationships.
Never been in a relationship.
What's the longest period of time that you've dated a guy?
I've never dated per se, but I was seeing someone, I guess, on and off for a good like 4 months.
On and off, 4 months.
Yeah.
Was it ever boyfriend, girlfriend, or
never?
No?
We never put the label on it. We were just seeing each other, and yeah, basically just a situationship.
Okay, besides that one, the 4 month on again, off again thing, what's the longest period of time you say you've continued to see a guy? Maybe obviously it didn't lead to a proper relationship, but what's the longest?
I think honestly that one.
But besides that one, besides the on again, off again one?
Probably another one for about like 2 months.
2 months here, 4 months there.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And so very single. What does that mean? What does very single mean?
I don't know. I've just gotten to college and all my friends have been in relationships, and I don't know. I'm kind of looking for that a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to find it in Santa Barbara. But
you don't think you're going to find what in Santa Barbara?
A relationship, like a real relationship.
Why is that?
Because all the guys here none of them want that, honestly. They don't really want something real, you know? None
of the guys want something real?
No, I
don't
think so.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, I'd say, but I don't really want to keep looking for it if no one's going to be willing to, you know?
Okay. We'll come back to that. What about
you? I'm also single, and I like just kind of going off her answer. I've not been in a committed relationship, but I've been committed to a person for about 2 years in the past.
This, I assume, was a high school. Well,
yeah.
It must have been a high school relationship. Yeah. So your longest relationship was 2 years then?
It was a relationship. It was not boyfriend, girlfriend, yeah.
It was a relationship, but not boyfriend, girlfriend.
The same way you and I have a relationship. We just know each other, but there was a romantic energy there, but it was never official. So
a romantic energy. Okay. So you were seeing him for 2 years.
Yeah.
But you weren't boyfriend and girlfriend?
That's correct.
Was this like a pen pal situation, like across the country? You met him playing World of Warcraft or something?
No, it was a friend. That was more than a friend. But
okay,
we just, we never put the label on it. And
is that because you didn't want it, or he didn't want it, or both?
He didn't. I would have, but he did not.
But you guys were monogamous.
No. So
it was an open relationship.
I guess technically, but we never really defined it. 2
years? It's a long time.
Yeah. It was the epitome of settling, is what it was.
You settled?
Yes.
How so?
Because I was really into him, and I was like, you know what? He doesn't want to be exclusive, so I'm okay to just like take what I can get, and it's taught me a lot about relationships and what I want in the future.
So, in the moment, though, would you say that you settled? Okay, so you settled for, it was worth it to be with him, even though he wasn't willing to commit to you. it was still worth it to keep him in your life, despite the fact he was not prepared to
Exactly.
move things along.
Exactly.
Okay, so was he like exceptionally attractive, babe status?
Yes.
Okay, athlete?
Yes.
How tall was he?
5'10".
Oh, okay. All right.
I have a thing. I just like tall dudes are awesome, but I feel like short guys are kind of where it's at. Like just overall,
right.
like I think that better personality and just in my experience, I have enjoyed time spent with shorter guys.
Okay. What about you?
So
Closest to the mic, guys.
Sorry, I am currently in a relationship, and I want to say my longest relationship was probably 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your current one?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. What about you?
So I actually was married. Together for 11 years, married for 7. So I got divorced about 4 years ago, and I've just been doing me and focusing on me and my son. I've had a few situationships. Just had one recent one. It's not really worth mentioning.
You can mention it.
Nah,
No, we
it's
can
not
mention.
worth it.
All right.
But the other one before that was a roller coaster for sure. I was like almost 2 years of just on and off, and it was a rebound from my divorce. So in my defense, I was like not really in it, but I kind of wanted to be in it. So it was back and forth. And then this last one has just been a few months. So
you're currently seeing him,
Currently
or you
seeing-
split?
Oh no, we split.
How long have you been single, so to speak?
3 hours ago.
You guys broke up 3 hours ago.
We ended the situationship about earlier in the day. So yeah.
Good times.
Good times. Good times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and how long were you seeing him for again?
About 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, not bad.
Why did he dump you?
I actually broke it off.
Okay. Why is that?
It was just time and effort. You know, you can't give me the basics. We're not there. Sorry, we're not on the same page. So, can't give me time and effort, communication. Like, that's cool. We have priorities. Communication is great.
Did y'all split in person, or
No,
was
so I did it over like DMs.
over DMs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
It's a taste of their own medicine.
Excuse me.
Is it not?
What is?
Like breaking up with somebody or doing something over DMs?
What do you mean a taste of their own medicine?
Do you know
Who is
how many-
there?
Do you know how many guys have done that to girls?
Guys have done what to girls?
Just left them hanging or.
Well,
led
women
them on,
overwhelmingly
or-
initiate breakups
Do they?
and divorce.
Yeah.
Women are more likely to end things than guys.
Yeah.
You gotta as a chick. Well, not necessarily, but like most guys will stick by you.
Really?
Women are much more likely to
I
end
haven't had that
relationships.
much then. Or maybe I just.
Okay,
I'm
well,
too
I mean, we
closed
can go
off.
around the table on this, then we'll have Allie come in
Alright.
and say her relationship piece. But of the times, so imagine all the guys that in any situation where you've had to say, hey, I don't want to see you anymore, and that could manifest itself either in ghosting, where you don't even overtly communicate it. So basically that could be anywhere from after the first date all the way to a 1 year, 2 year relationship. So that entire spectrum of the times where there's someone who's not wanting to see the other person, is it more often you or is it more often the guy?
It's more often the guy for me, because usually like
Stop the cap.
usually for me, like if I'm not happy, like I'll try to work things out, and like sometimes like I tend to kind of like go like I tend to like bend over backwards for someone that I like, even if it makes me unhappy.
Yes.
But yeah, and then sometimes like and then they would I don't know.
So you've never ended things with a guy?
Like, well, if it was like a first date thing and it just didn't go well, I would be like, I'm not feeling it. But if like we've been seeing each other for like a bit, usually like he ends it or it's mutual.
Okay, here, we'll continue on. What about you?
I feel like I've had some pretty unique like situationships, friends with benefits type things. My first one, the guy actually was here in my town, my hometown, for he was playing hockey, and then he was there for like 3 or 4 months. He was the longest one that I mentioned before. And then he ended up leaving because he had to go to another state to play. So that was kind of just mutual. But I was really upset for a good 20 minutes. I cried. He came to my house, and then I just got over it because I realized he was kind of ugly, but it was okay.
You realized this?
I realized it after he left. I was kind of looking, and I was like, oh, I just did it because he was there. That sounds kind of messed up, but...
You just did it because he was there?
I mean,
and by did it, you mean what?
Got
occasionally,
with him.
like hooking up occasionally?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Okay. And you said you realized 3 months in he was ugly?
No, I realized after. He was a sweet kid, though. It was personality over looks.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. But what about, think of you said you've had a couple situationships here and there. Who's ending it?
If I'm not feeling it, I will end it.
But okay, so, Cheeks.
Cheeks donated
Thank you, man.
$100.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, skinny mom. The harsh truth is that no real man wants to be with any single moms. They are strictly made for recreational use. Go back to the baby daddy, or date a guy with kids. Those are your real bets. I'm doing me is sad for your child to see.
Your response to beaten cheeks.
Who beat you as a child?
What the you gotta say that shit into the microphone first
I
off.
said, who beat you as a child?
Who beaten cheeks. She says that you've been beaten as a child. Where did that come from?
Just the name.
Because of the beaten cheeks? I don't think he was spanked. I don't think that's what that name means. I think he's doing the spanking. Beaten.
It's a sex joke.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I feel bad.
Oh, that was a joke.
I feel bad for whoever's being spanked on that end.
Okay, cool. So we were talking about you, right? So go ahead. More often than not, who ends things?
It'll usually be me, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but I hate confrontation, so it's kind of yeah.
It's kind of like what? Like you do it over text, or
I think it's
ghost?
I think it's more respectful to do it to their face, to tell them that you want to end things. I think so.
I
no
think
one wants to get broken up with over the phone.
Well, I mean, if it's a short period of time, like 9 months, that's a text.
9 months?
9 months is a text.
It's like a pregnancy.
Maybe like a year and a half, then you get a phone call.
A year and a half?
2 years
Wow.
maybe in person.
I disagree, personally.
What?
Yeah, no.
So
hard disagree.
No.
Nah, it's got to be text. Well, I mean, look,
text?
you guys can do it however you want. I know, speaking for myself, I would much rather, even if I've been seeing a girl for 9 months, just send me a text. I don't need the theatrics and the...
Well, you must not really like her then.
Yeah, it depends on the individual.
Nah, I
Why
can
have you been with them for 9 months if you're okay with being broken up over the phone?
Well, I don't
because
follow
it sounds
the
like
logic
you're wasting
there, but...
your
9 months is an
Closer to the mic.
9 months is an incredibly short time to be in a relationship with anybody. I'm actually quite shocked at how dysfunctional this panel is and how nobody can maintain long-term relationships. Brian, I was wondering how old you were, because for men it's different,
I'm 33.
You're 33. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's okay. Let me explain, right? So I'm actually pregnant with a girl right now. So I'm having a daughter, and being here is terrifying because I have to see the world that my daughter is going to come up in, and I don't want what you guys are experiencing. I would never want or wish for my daughter. I don't want my daughter to be used by some guy in high school or some guy in college, because that's what's going on, because we're talking about dating and situationships. We're giving our bodies to these men, and I don't want her to be used by some guy who could care less. I want her to be able to exercise discernment and have better options. And we can talk about data and statistics along the way. You guys were talking about how one of you was saying that men leave more. So right now, Pew Research data just dropped, where 60% of men from 18 to 29, it's not even they want to date anymore. They're single and they're not looking. So we're dealing with a very small pool of men, which means we need to be wise. But I'm sorry, but I don't think any of y'all know how men work. Because the way that I'm hearing you guys talk, it's two different worlds. From our perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But we have Brian here, we have the cameraman. Men operate on a completely different spectrum when it comes to relationships. And I'm not an expert, but I do have a YouTube channel. I interview wives on purpose that have been married 20, 30 years, much longer than myself. And I do that so women can get an education, because a lot of this stuff, like, this is just sad and heartbreaking to me. I want nothing but love and hopefully children, if you guys want children too. But it's like a problem. So there's another thing that's coming up too, right? So 45% of women right now from ages, I want to say 25 to 44, they're projected to be single by 2030. Like, we're not dating well. This is scary. I'm concerned for my child. So, I mean, I know not to be all philosophical, but I'm like, holy crap. Also, there's something wrong with California. Like, I highly recommend moving. Like, leave this place.
I agree. I think California guys are possibly not where it's at, but I also find your statement incredibly condescending. Because you just said that we are dysfunctional for not being able to commit to long-term relationships, but then also just said that men are not looking for relationships.
No.
I completely agree. So how is it dysfunctional to not commit yourself and be in a long-term relationship when you can agree that that's also not what guys are looking for, and it's okay to not want to waste your time?
And I just wanted to hop in and say one thing. I think it was a really broad statement for you to say that everyone was dysfunctional. I personally am in a 2-year or about to be 2-year long committed relationship. I have a ring, you know, and I think that it's a broad statement to kind of like put that out, and it was condescending. I think that's not only are guys, you know, not as much looking for relationships these days, but I don't think girls are either.
Right. So like that pool of men that I'm talking about, like the 60%, like those are nihilistic men. Right, so then we're talking about like the 40% of men that are looking for relationships, and that's like for the Pew Research data. The other perspective is like where it stands right now, only 1 in 3 and 1 in 5 men is even having sex in the first place.
I'm sorry, is this in America? Like,
yes, this is in America.
Okay, so all
like
of America.
I can show this all to you, like if you guys get curious, because I just like to educate women, because I want you guys to live full lives. That I would assume for a lot of women, you guys are looking for this romantic story, this kind of situation where you get to have a man to rely on and you get to have children with him. I'm happy to share all this stuff with you guys.
Why don't we ask them, do you?